Let's talk about Appalachian witchcraft. In the mountains, or at least the mountains where I come from, there were different types of witches. And let's talk about it because it's really kind of fascinating to me. You have, first off, and this is the one I think most people think about when they think of mountain witch. This would have been the person who lived off by themselves, who created this mystery and this fear because they did the baneful stuff and only the baneful stuff. If somebody's cow gave blood instead of milk, if butter wouldn't churn, if crops failed, or if somebody was hit by a witch bullet, or if some cow was hit by a witch stone, then this is what we're dealing with. Or if somebody got sick or hurt or had spirits sent after them, that kind of thing. That would be the baneful, must be avoided at all costs witch. Now, the second type would be what would be called in some areas the doctor, the witch doctor. And I don't mean like from B movies. I'm talking about witch, comma, doctor. And that would be the person that would be called in. Usually there would be a great distance that would have to be traveled for this person to come in because they were kind of few and far. That person would come in to try to undo those painful workings, or at the very least, be able to correspond with you somehow to tell you what to do with that kind of thing. Now you've got the other, the granny woman, the cunning woman who could do the divinations, the work-ins, the, that's right, huh? Who would do the work-ins, who you would go to if you needed help. Now, this person always lived apart from the community as well. And there would be usually a great distance to travel up the mountain because usually with anybody that had abilities, they would live far off from the cluster of people, wherever they were in the mountains, to where you would have to travel, and I mean travel, to get there. You'd have to really want to see them to get there. And that person was the one that kind of tended to the everyday stuff, if called into practice, their things. Then you've got a complete subset of things. This would be common shared knowledge across the board with the people in the households. And this is where your superstitions and your omens and your signs and that shared collective knowledge of things come into play. So, that being said, while all these people were very religious, God fearing people, as it were, superstitions and omens and those kind of things ruled their lives far more than church. Because, like I've shared before, um, people would go to church because it was expected, and you would be looked at and ostracized from the greater community. And in a time where you needed everybody to get through stuff, that would be a bad thing. So you went to church, you participated, and you did all the things. So it was important for everybody to kind of be seen as a unit, so to speak. So you have your baneful practitioners that were just mean, mean people who served no purpose in the community other than to cause harm. Sounds kind of familiar today, doesn't it? Then you've got the ones that would come in and actually do battle against those type practitioners. And you know what? The baneful were very transient. They would really move from place to place. They really wouldn't usually set up and take roots down in a place. Kind of obvious reasons why. The ones that would help the community with their divinations and their birthing and all that kind of stuff would put down roots, but they would still be separate from the main group. And then you've got your day-to-day superstitions and your omens and your signs that you followed. It was a very complex structure, believe it or not. Very complex in how you dealt with things, who did what and how your day literally was ruled by so many things. And it's a fascinating thing that I would love to go into more with you all if you want to know more. Love you, mean it.